This is the plaintiff, Jane. She says the defendant, her ex-husband of 25 years, owes her money for their son's wedding and he refuses to pay. Leading up to the wedding, everything was fine, but once the bills arrived, she never heard from him again. The louse has never given her any money. She's maxed out and is suing her ex here in this court for every cent of the $3,158.36 she's owed. This is the defendant, Stephen Jacobs. He says the plaintiff somehow got the impression he was going to split the costs of their son's wedding, but he never agreed to it. His ex-wife is the type who doesn't ask you, she tells you. And when she told him he had to split it with her, he flatly refused. The plaintiff owes him money from putting their two sons through college. She promised to split it with him and didn't. Here they are. He's accused of not giving an ex her due. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $7,000 for unpaid college tuition.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Jane, you're suing your ex, Stephen Jacobs, for $3,158.36, half the cost of your son's wedding expenses, which, according to you, he agreed to pay. You are counterclaiming against her, I guess, half the cost of college?
No, not
All
half
the cost of college?
No, that she made no contribution to things like tuition and
So
other
how do you
college
pick
expenses.
$7,000?
Maximum Massachusetts.
No, I mean
for small claims.
factually, how do you? Not why do you? I mean, how much was college?
I paid about 200 and something thousand for both boys.
Okay. So you're suing for the most you can sue for, so it's a tiny fraction of what you actually paid for college, because according to you, she's supposed to pay for half of that. All right, let's talk to you first. Tell me about why you're here today.
We have two sons. The oldest son, who's now 29, was married last June. Steve and I had been in conversation about paying for the rehearsal dinner, some flowers to go along with the rehearsal dinner. They were going to be repurposed and used at the wedding the following day. And then the day after, Sunday, was a brunch held at the bride's family home.
Okay, so that was the agreement you folks, well, it's partially tradition and partially the agreement that you folks reached with mother of the bride or father of the bride. Okay.
Exactly.
And then what?
So I kept Steve in the loop.
What was he telling you when you told him that?
Fine.
No problem.
No problem at all.
You and I will split it.
You and I will split it. No
Okay.
problem at all.
So what happens on the day of the rehearsal dinner?
He had dinner. His mother and father were in from Florida. When I was seeing them down to their car, his dad had fallen the week before and was really bruised up. Anyway, I helped them down, and by the time I got back up to the second floor, he was gone for the evening.
So he wasn't there when the check came?
No.
Okay, and then what happens?
Well, I paid the bill. We had the wedding on Saturday. It was beautiful.
Lovely wedding?
It was fabulous. And
Then brunch.
And then the brunch the following day. There were approximately.
Did you say something to him at the wedding, like, you know, you weren't there to help pay, or the topic didn't come up? You were avoiding
No,
it?
I didn't. I didn't want to start anything then and there. It wasn't. It just wouldn't be appropriate.
So did he go to the brunch?
He did.
And did you discuss with him money then, or did you wait until later?
I didn't. He said to me that he would be getting back to me about the money. I didn't have all of the receipts. It had been a phone order.
So then when did you give him the receipts and how?
I gave him the receipts the following Saturday on July 2nd.
Okay, and how?
I hand-delivered them to his house.
Okay, and what did he do?
Nothing.
Okay, what did he say? I'm not paying this, or he didn't say
No, he, for several months, whenever I would either bump into him or speak to him on the phone, he would say, yeah, I'm going to get you the money, I'm going to pay you. And at one point, I was with my other son, and we saw Steve, and I said to him, you know, do you think that you could get back to me on that? Because it was all on my credit card, and, you know, it's troublesome. And he said that he would pay me, and I told him, I said, if you can't pay all of it now, just pay what you can, and we can work out the rest. But I'd really appreciate it if you could get it to me.
And
he said he would, and he didn't.
Okay, when do you learn that he has no intention of paying you?
In late October.
What does he say?
Oh, I saw him right before I moved, and he said, I don't owe you a cent.
Okay.
And he turned and walked away. And that was the last time we spoke.
Had you two been fighting about something else before that?
No, ma'am.
Why the change, do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't understand. What do you want me to say?
Well, why don't we start with, did you agree to pay for half of the groom cost?
No.
Never?
Never.
Why is she under the impression that you did?
Because it's not a question she asked, it's a statement she provides.
Meaning?
The first time, well, she kept on asking or telling me many, many times. This wasn't a one-time or two or three-time incident. The first time she asked me about splitting the cost was over a telephone call, and I just told her I had to go to the bathroom because that would be typically what I would tell her every time she wanted money. Because to her, I'm the golden goose.
How long ago did you guys divorce?
25 years.
Oh, okay.
So in any event, she kept on not asking, but telling me, this is what we're going to do.
And what would you say when she would tell you that? She says you would say,
I would
fine.
try to walk away. I would try to leave. I would try to not be around.
You sure you weren't just yesing her and then figured later?
No, I didn't. Never.
I mean, because
yes,
it's kind of unpleasant to have a showdown over $3,000, at your son's wedding.
Yes, it is.
So are you sure that you weren't just kind of yesing her and figuring you'd figure it out later?
I was not yesing her.
What were you doing?
I
Just
was
go to the
telling her
bathroom a lot?
that listen, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going.
You actually wait. Hold on one second.
going
That's
to
not.
pay.
Wait. Are you telling me that you told her before the wedding, no way? Because I got the impression from your testimony now and your answer to the complaint that you were avoiding it, not that you point blank said, I'm not going to pay.
Before the wedding, I was avoiding it.
Oh, yeah, no, after the wedding doesn't matter.
After the wedding, I was avoiding it, but she was persistent, and then I told her, forget it, I'm not paying anything.
And why do you feel like you shouldn't have to pay it?
For a lot of reasons.
Can you give me a
One of the
couple of them?
reasons was she never contributed anything towards any of the things that she agreed to contribute, such as college expenses.
Okay.
So,
So let's talk
additionally,
about that. Hold on one second. You guys were divorced when the kids were little.
yes.
Okay, I've looked at your divorce decree. Are you under the impression it says that you guys are going to split college
No,
expenses?
it says that we're going that each we will both contribute towards the expenses.
That is, show me where it says that, because I missed it then.
Let me get the glasses.
No worries. I know your pain.
On page 17A, it's in handwriting. We both signed the paper. Shall attempt to agree upon each parent's contribution to the educational expenses for the children as defined herein in appropriate child support payment.
Shall attempt to agree.
Yes.
How is that placing 50% responsibility
No, I
on
didn't
each
say it's
parent?
50%. So I'm saying is a contribution is something more than zero.
No, see, here's the thing. It's attempt to agree is the operative language. I know, it's useless, isn't
I
it?
understand, but it's still something beyond zero.
No, attempt to agree means you could fail at it. It doesn't say what the responsibilities are.
understand, but it's still something
I
above
think it's
zero.
a terrible divorce decree. And I'm telling you, a lot of them look like that because nobody's thinking about that because you
Okay.
guys divorced when the kids were how old?
Oh, a year and a half or so, 3 years.
Exactly. They're coochie cool, barely walking.
And
What do your boys do?
I think they work. They work.
No, but I...
No, it's good. They work. They got a job and everything.
They
do
should
good.
have jobs. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
asking, what do they
good.
do? Do you know what they do?
One's in construction, and one is in finance or something. I don't know. But I mean,
If you're going to invest a couple of $100,000s in their education,
No,
shouldn't
but
you?
they
What do they
work,
do? What do your
which is
kids
good.
do?
One of them is a civil engineer, and
Oh.
the other one is in finance.
Okay. All right.
so all I was
He
going to
has his
that way.
MBA.
So all I was going to say is in addition to paying that, alimony and child support were never reduced.
Okay, well, why didn't
So
you?
I mean, I think I went above and beyond the call of duty here when clearly, as far as I'm concerned,
I know, but see,
there
you're
should have been some participation and
Okay.
contribution on her part, and there was zero.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is he on the hook for half the cost of the wedding?
Yes, he is.
Why?
Because even if you imply, that means it's just like saying you're going to do it.
It's not exactly like saying you're going to do it because you're not saying I'm going to do it.
But it's being a little bit slick about it, and he knows that that's not the honest way to handle it.
Fair enough, but being slick, is that legally binding? Can he skate because he's slick?
He shouldn't escape. It's family. Family's always family, no matter what. And if you implied it, he's got to just, be a man and pay for half of it.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you ever say to her, hey, pony up some money back then? And she
Yeah.
said, what, I don't
I'm
have
broke.
it?
Yeah, I'm broke. I knew she was broke.
Was she working?
Oh, no, come on.
What, come on,
Be
what?
serious. No.
Why couldn't she work?
I answered that for 20 years.
Why weren't you working?
I am working now. I wasn't working at the time because our younger son was very, very ill. He lost an entire year of college, darn near died. I was also guardian to my mother who had Alzheimer's.
Okay, you've heard enough. Folks, no, we're done. No, we're done. We're done.
I have evidence.
Oh, you have a phone. What's going on?
Okay. I have a voicemail that he left me. I called him to tell him that I was coming down to the house to drop off the receipts. And he called me back and left a voicemail.
Okay, let's hear it. Don't ruin the surprise.
Okay.
Jane, just leave the receipts in the front seat of the Escalade.
Shall I replay it?
No.
You heard it?
Yeah, leave the receipts in the front seat of the
that's
Escalade.
it. She told me she was bringing...
That's not, I'm not paying.
It's
Oh,
dated-
please, you think I need to just shoot me? Listen to me.
It's dated in
I don't care,
Okay.
we're done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Look, let me tell you the difference between a contract and not a contract. When you have a divorce decree that says we will attempt to agree, that is not a contractual obligation on her part to pay half of college. When you tell somebody, I'm going to pay half, and they detrimentally rely on your saying that, which I believe you said, okay, then that's a contract. Because they go out, they obligate themselves to the whole $7,000 something because they think they're only going to pay $3 something because you said you'd pay it. I don't care her attitude when she says it. I don't care if she's, a horrible person. It doesn't matter. If you're acting like, you don't want to get disinvited or whatever, you're thinking, whatever it is, you want it to be peaceful, for whatever reason, you are implying that you're paying half, which I can hear from that tape that you were even doing it after the brunch, okay? For whatever reason, that's what you're doing, then you owe half. That's that. So I'm finding in favor of the plaintiff on her claim against you for $3,158.36 on your counterclaim 0. And I need you to understand so that you don't walk out of here saying, oh, that's because she's a woman, okay? Listen to me. You're a good dad, and you have ponied up financially a lot. You did the right thing 1,000 times. It's just that has nothing to do with this. That's like moral stuff. This is legal stuff. Got it? Good luck.
Well, the plaintiff prevails in this dispute. No question about that. Mr. Jacobs, what can I say? How do you feel about what the judge just decided?
I understand. I understand why she made the decision. And, but it is what it is.
Okay. You in touch with your sons?
Oh, yeah.
What? Okay. Sorry about this dispute
Oh.
having to come into court, and I know this wasn't pleasant for you, but thank you for being here. Okay, you must sign a few documents that way. Here comes the plaintiff, Jane, out of the courtroom now. Again, I'm sorry you had to go through this, but
too.
You decided, you filed the case.
I
How do you
did.
feel about the judge's decision?
I feel good about it. I think that she understood what was going on, and she ruled the right way.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you very much. Harvey?
So, you know what? These guys are all right. That if you imply something to the point where somebody has a right to rely on what you're certainly putting down, then you're bound by it if they rely on it and take action. In this case, she took action at a wedding. The legal term is actually called promissory estoppel. It means detrimental reliance. See, you learned something. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.